Have you ever shared something personal, only to regret it instantly? That sinking feeling when you realize you've said too much? We live in an age of oversharing. Social media tells us to be authentic and vulnerable constantly. But here's the brutal truth nobody mentions. Some secrets are meant to be kept, not because you're dishonest, but because protecting certain information is essential for your success, relationships, and peace of mind. The ancient Stoic philosophers Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca understood this deeply. They knew that words, once spoken, can never be retrieved. Today, I'm revealing 10 things you should never tell anyone. These aren't random tips. These are hard-learned lessons that could save you from devastating mistakes. Let's get into it. Number 1, your next big move. Imagine starting a business, changing occupations, moving to a new place, or making other major life changes. The thrills are overpowering. Your mind is full of options. This new approach excites you so much you can't sleep. Every part of you wants to tell everyone, friends, family, coworkers, even people you barely know. Your want to declare your intentions is almost overwhelming. However, this is why you should resist that urge. If you declare your goals before you've taken action or developed momentum, others will mistrust you. Friends and relatives, often with good intentions but limited vision, may project their concerns, anxieties, and restrictions onto your dreams. They'll tell you why it won't work, list the hazards, list everyone who's tried and failed, and drain your motivation before you start. They'll say, "That's really risky. Most businesses fail in the first year. You're giving up security. What if it doesn't work out? Have you really thought this through?" They may not be nasty individuals sabotaging you. Your loved ones desire to protect you from disappointment and failure. However, their protection often destroys your potential and dreams. This also involves an intriguing and well-documented psychological phenomenon. Conversations about objectives give your brain a premature sensation of accomplishment. According to behavioral psychology research, you get the dopamine rush, satisfaction, and social affirmation without completing the job. The result? Significantly less likely to follow through. Your brain has already rewarded you by talking about the objective, so why make you work hard to achieve it? Without contemporary neurobiology, Stoics grasped this principle well. Roman statesman and philosopher Seneca wrote, "Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt." From observation and experience, he knew that prematurely disclosing intentions weakened people and sapped their energy. Marcus Aurelius stressed action over words and deeds over assertions in his meditations. He often reminded himself that actions, not words, matter. Your subconscious knows you're replacing words for action when you reveal your plans. Your societal reward is for something you didn't do. Consider that every successful person you respect toiled quietly before their breakthrough. After writing a book, they announced its completion and publishing. Before announcing their firm, they began it, built it, proved the concept, and then unveiled it. They quietly changed careers and let people discover it. Keep your next significant move to yourself until it's finished or far enough along to discourage outside comments. Let results speak. When it counts, those who need to know will. They'll be impressed by your implementation and results, not your intentions and promises. Do secret work. Build silently. Let success make noise. Wise people do this. Number 2, your good deeds. We've all met someone who can't stop bragging about their charity work. The homeless person they helped last week, the money they donated, the favor they did, or their volunteer work. Something about it makes you quite uneasy, no? The whole performance feels odd, but you can't pinpoint it. When you publicize your kindness, good actions, and charity, they become about feeding your ego. They turn genuine compassion into social, status-boosting performances. People notice this immediately, even if they don't speak. They view you as performatively charitable instead of generous. You become a camera-wielding helper. Marcus Aurelius thought strongly and directly on this. In his Meditations, when you've done well and another has benefited by it, why like a fool do you look for a third thing on top, credit for the good deed or a favor in return? He deeply believed that goodness rewards itself. When you seek praise, recognition, or social credit for your good efforts, you take them. It's now about you and your reputation, not the individual you helped. Epictetus taught his students that true character is revealed in what you do without an audience, social media, or fans. He advised practicing philosophy, which the Stoics defined as virtue and living according to reason and nature quietly and without fanfare. Don't explain your philosophy, he said. Embody it, live it, be it. Don't brag about it. Genuine kindness needs no audience. Consider the kindest persons you know. You probably discovered their kindness by chance, not by announcement. You heard from others, experienced it, or saw it unexpectedly. They help because it's the right thing to. Do because they sense a need and feel forced to fill it, not for social credit or notoriety. Advertising your generosity has practical effects as well as moral and philosophical ones. It raises suspicions about your intentions. People wonder what you're compensating for. They wonder what you want in exchange. They start to regard your generosity as transactional and contrived. Even with good intentions, performance taints perception. Privacy and dignity are additional factors. Publicizing your good efforts may embarrass or expose those you're helping. The homeless person you assisted may not want your 1,000 social media followers to know. Your suffering buddy may want their financial issues kept quiet. You're exposing their vulnerability without their consent by offering help. Keep your nice deeds private. Help discreetly. Give anonymously if possible. Let those who saw your kindness build your reputation, not your own assertions. Watch your generosity become more profound, pure, and rewarding when not done for a non-audience. Ancient wisdom says, "Let not your left hand know what your right hand does." Not merely religious poetry. This is practical insight about morality. The most meaningful good deeds are those only you and the recipient know about. Number 3, your family problems. Every family has dysfunction, each and every one. Social media may imply a perfect family, but there is none. There's always someone in the family that causes trouble at every gathering. Parents who don't understand. You, siblings you fight with, or hereditary curses. These problems are genuine, valid, highly affecting, and shape you. However, sharing specific family concerns with friends, coworkers, or casual acquaintances permanently stains your loved one's reputation. Even years after you've forgiven, mended, and restored those connections, the individuals you told will remember. They'll judge your family based on your darkest stories and retain grudges long after you've let go. This usually goes like this: a violent, explosive argument with your mother. In your anger and hurt, you tell your pals everything she said, how she failed you, and why you're right to be furious. Your loyal, supportive friends support you unconditionally. Based on this single worst time of your relationship, they form strong negative views about your mother. Then time passes. Cool emotions. Your mother and you discuss vital matters. You remember all Mom did for you over the years, her sacrifices and imperfect love. Understand her perspective better. You acknowledge your conflict role. You pardon. Relationships heal and progress. But your pals? They recall the story well. When your mother is mentioned, they make subtle comments, modify tone and body language. Invite them over for family dinner, and you may feel tension. There, still waging a war you declared over, and carrying a grudge you dropped. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful Roman, had well-documented family issues. His wife Faustina was thought to be cheating in Rome. One of Rome's most oppressive emperors was his son Commodus. Marcus rarely mentioned these familial issues in his Meditations, his private journal. He intuitively knew that voicing family problems, especially in paper, was pointless. He emphasized philosophy. The best revenge is not to be like your wrongdoer. He intentionally reminded himself of their good traits and his family responsibilities when family members annoyed, disappointed, or misbehaved. He worked through his issues quietly via philosophical reflection and practice, not telling his court or counselors. Outsiders cannot fully grasp family difficulties since they are firmly rooted in complex situations. Without knowing the full history spanning years or decades, family dynamics and unspoken rules, cultural factors and inherited traumas, daily interactions and small kindnesses, people will make harsh judgments that don't capture reality. There, well-meaning, kind advice often makes problems worse because it's based on insufficient, one-sided knowledge. Your friend who insists you cut off your parents because they criticized your profession decision doesn't know about the 30 years of sacrifices they made for you, the ways they supported your aspirations as a youngster, and the challenges they experienced to provide you opportunity. Your coworker who says your sister is poisonous because of one anecdote doesn't know about your complex background, your childhood experiences, and her support in difficult times. Discussing family issues with a licensed therapist who's professionally trained to help you process these relationships, a wise mentor who knows your full family history over many years, or in rare cases with someone who's earned deep trust through loyalty and discretion is appropriate. However, casually discussing family business with friends, coworkers, or on social media generates issues that outlast the initial conflict. Stoics preached oikeiosis, that we have innate attachment and unique duty toward our loved ones, especially family. This doesn't imply allowing abuse, poisonous behavior, or destructive situations, but it does entail treating family ties with care, caution, and secrecy. Protect family privacy zealously. Directly resolve conflicts with parties. Seek professional aid when needed. Resist the impulse to use your family's troubles for social media, entertainment, or ranting. Your family deserves better despite their flaws and failures, as do you. Number 4, your income and financial situation. Money alters everything between people. People's conduct toward you profoundly and irreversibly changes when they learn how much you earn, what you're worth, how much you save, invest, or struggle. With financially, it rarely changes for the better. Tell folks you're doing well financially, got a huge raise, made a good investment, or have a great business, and they'll change how they treat you. Loan requests begin with distant relatives you rarely hear from, then from pals who just need a little help to get through a rough patch. Expectations arise that you'll pay for dinner, give more to group gifts, or fund social events. When others are hurting financially or earning less than you, subtle animosity builds. Even if your conduct hasn't altered, friends may think you've abandoned them. They become hypersensitive to your spending and lifestyle choices, scrutinizing them like never before. Your family may feel entitled to your riches if you succeed financially. Professional contacts may overcharge you because they assume you can afford it. Conversely, revealing that you're struggling financially, in debt, lost your job, or barely making ends meet creates separate but equally damaging issues. People lose trust in you professionally. They now doubt your judgment and expertise. They question your suitability for key tasks. Potential clients may be wary of your stability and punctuality. Friends may start treating you like a charity case, offering patronizing help. You may be excluded from activities and invites because you can't afford them, causing alienation and resentment. Your vulnerability causes awkwardness, pity, and emotional distance instead of intimacy. Despite being one of Rome's and the ancient world's wealthiest men, Seneca wrote long and seriously about money and wealth. He wisely observed, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." He learned from experience that showing wealth and poverty are bad. Displayed wealth inspires envy, judgment, and exploitation. Poverty evokes pity, disgust, and disrespect. Despite controlling the Roman Empire's treasury and having unimaginable wealth, Marcus Aurelius lived simply and wrote little about money or fortune in his meditations. He mentioned money mostly to remind himself that material items don't define happiness or worth. The Stoics taught that human value is unaffected by wealth. They realized practical reality. Others don't always perceive things this way. Others judge, compare, envy, presume, and characterize you based on your wealth. Poverty. Nobody cares about your finances except you and possibly your spouse or family. Even then, some financial information may be best kept secret. The less others know about your income, assets, debts, and worth, the more genuine and authentic you are. Interactions will be. People must interact with you based on who you are, not your finances. They can't reflect their financial worries onto you. They can't assume your lifestyle, preferences, or commitments. They know you as a person, friend, and coworker, not your income. Discretion also protects you practically. People can't manipulate you with financial information. You're untargetable by scammers. You're not exposed to financial abuse from folks who exploit your money or troubles. When asked about income or finances, gently but firmly say, "I'm comfortable. I'm making it work. I prefer to keep financial matters private," or "I don't discuss money." Most sensible, considerate people will automatically respect these boundaries. Those who ask for specifics after you've declined show they don't respect boundaries, exactly the kind of people you shouldn't share financial information with. Money. Matters should be private. Building money or recovering from financial troubles quietly, without ceremony. Let others value, respect, and relate to you for who you are, not what you have or can give them. Number 5. Your personal goals and ambitions. This principle expands on your next big step by focusing on personal development, self-improvement, and character. Early self-improvement goals, whether they're losing weight, increasing muscle, publishing a book, learning a new language, mastering a musical instrument, developing a professional skill, or anything else, are fragile. They need gentle care, not premature exposure and public scrutiny. When you discuss these aspirations before you've created habits and momentum, others may doubt and criticize you. Beyond external criticism, creating accountability and societal pressure without internal systems, habits, and drive is even more harmful. This scenario usually goes like this. You resolve to drop 30 pounds. You inform 10 friends, relatives, and coworkers about this decision, filled with enthusiasm and determination. Whether they mean to or not, those 10 people are now judges assessing your development. "I thought you were on a diet?" they say about your work lunch. They expect constant weight loss updates when they inquire. They notice when you haven't dropped weight, even if they don't say anything. External pressure and inspection often backfire. Horribly, you feel evaluated and watched instead of supported and motivated. What was once a personal health and self-improvement journey becomes a public presentation with audience feedback. Obstacles constantly come with worthwhile goals, and you feel the crushing weight of disappointing yourself and everyone you tell about your objectives. Epictetus taught simply, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Be careful to follow his order. Decide secretly, then work. He said only first announce to everyone what you would be. Gather social validation, and then try to live up to those public announcements while managing everyone's expectations and opinions. Internal belief and personal devotion must drive transformation, not external pressure or social performance. Marcus Aurelius regularly reminded himself in his meditations to focus on acts rather than words, deeds rather than statements, and being rather than seeming. Stop debating what a good man is. Be one, he wrote bluntly. Personal aims and desires fit this principle perfectly. Stop wasting time and energy telling people what you'll become. Just act daily to become it. Work silently. Build privately. Your real transformation should impress others, not your continuous promises of future aspirations. Share your successes, not your plans. Show your results, not simply the method, unless the process is so well established that external accountability helps. But in those fragile early phases, when habits aren't formed and motivation fluctuates, guard your ambitions like seeds that need the perfect circumstances to thrive. Protect them from others' doubts, opinions, and expectations. Number 6, your past mistakes and regrets. Each person has a regrettable past. All of us have done things we regret. Everyone has embarrassing moments, decisions, and acts they would change if they could. Growing and learning are part of being human. Sharing regrets, exposing mistakes, helps or damages you in your current life, not if you have regrets. When you divulge prior faults to those who didn't see them, weren't there during that time, and don't know your whole context or growth since then, you're asking them to judge a past you. You're asking them to judge someone you fought hard to overcome. Psychology reveals that people struggle greatly to differentiate who they were from who they are now. You leave a lasting impression on them with your story about your reckless childhood, awful judgment in a prior relationship, criminal actions, betrayal of trust, addiction, or significant ethical shortcomings. Even as you grow, alter, age, and evolve, it becomes part of their story of you. The human brain loves tales, and the dramatic story of your previous failures is frequently more memorable than the calmer story of your steady development and salvation. Author Marcus Aurelius believed, confine yourself to the present. He learned from philosophy and experience that concentrating on previous mistakes, especially in public confessions, keeps you psychologically bound to past selves. Stoics believed in discreetly admitting faults, learning from them, making reparations where feasible, and going forward with wisdom. They didn't believe in rehashing past mistakes. Some will definitely exploit your past mistakes against you. Not everyone, maybe not even most, but enough to make irresponsible sharing risky. That ammunition you gave them will be used in future fights. Your disclosed past will be mentioned to decision makers while competing for jobs. In casual cruelty, they'll toss your honest admissions back in your face to wound you. Others won't. Take advantage of your past, but will never view you the same. They'll pretend to understand, say it doesn't affect their opinion, and pledge not to judge. But their perception and actions change subtly. Your presence makes them wary. They worry if patterns will return. Instead of perceiving who you are, they hunt for traces of your history in your current actions. Your past shaped your character and taught you important lessons, but it doesn't have to be public. You may honor your journey, acknowledge your improvement, and be happy of your progress without sharing your complete tale. Let your actions and character speak louder than past confessions. Number 7, your relationship problems. When your romantic relationship is struggling, when you're fighting more than usual, when your partner hurt you deeply, and when you're seriously questioning whether you're compatible or if the relationship should continue, the temptation to vent to friends and family is strong. You crave approval. You want someone to say you're right and your partner wrong. You need someone to listen, sympathize, and totally support you. However, when you discuss relationship issues with friends and family, they generate strong ideas about your spouse, based solely on your worst times together, on your arguments and fights, without any context. The arguments are vividly described, but the reconciliations are not. They learn about terrible words shouted in rage, but not apologies, growth, or understanding. They only notice the difficulties, not the humor, emotional moments, acts of generosity, and profound reasons you fell in love. Despite being married for 30 years and having 13 children, Marcus Aurelius rarely referenced his wife Faustina. In his decades-long private writings, he mentioned her to express his gratitude and remind himself to be patient. Faustina may have been unfaithful, and Rome was full of stories and gossip about her. Marcus kept his complaints quiet. Neither his advisors nor confidants heard him protest. He didn't detail their fights. He didn't seek Senate approval. He processed his complicated feelings quietly, concentrated on his own reactions, responses, and choices, and respected his wife's dignity and privacy even during difficult moments. Consult a qualified couples therapist or relationship counselor for serious relationship concerns. These experts are educated to listen to all sides, recognize detrimental patterns, offer impartial advice, and help you grow as individuals and a couple. Their professional understanding that they're seeing you both at your worst in the context of improving prevents them from developing lasting bad impressions of your partner. Keep your relationship issues between you, your spouse, and a professional. If required, don't use your intimate relationship as entertainment or a case study for others who can't counsel you and won't have to live with your decisions. Number 8. Details about your daily routine. This may seem paranoid, but in our connected world, knowing someone's routine is a security risk and a vulnerability to manipulation. When you casually mention that you go to the gym every morning, at 5 a.m., that you're home alone every Tuesday night, that you always stop at the same coffee shop, that you'll be out of town for 2 weeks on vacation, or that you follow any predictable pattern, you're providing detailed information that can be exploited. Beyond physical security, disclosing your routine makes you predictable and subject to subtle manipulation. Salespeople know when to catch you. Difficult individuals know when to force talks you've avoided. People who know your habits might purposefully enter your life on their terms, making it simpler to cross your boundaries. The Stoics understood how patterns and predictability build weaknesses. As Emperor of Rome, Marcus Aurelius had to change his routines and movements because opponents and assassins sought for predictable times to strike. While most of us aren't being assassinated, the premise remains: predictability gives exploiters an opening. Avoid specifics about your everyday routine when asked. I usually work out in the mornings, as I'm at the gym every day at 5:15 a.m. I enjoy that coffee shop, as I go there every morning before work at exactly 7:30. I'll be away for a bit later this month, as I'll be in Hawaii from June 15th to June 30th, and my house will be completely empty. Keep your patterns mysterious. Maintain unpredictability. Your privacy, security, and control over your life and time are worth more than a brief connection or the convenience of sharing trivial details about your daily routine with strangers. Number 9. Your opinions on controversial topics. Our times are severely polarized. Politics, religion, social justice, economic policy, and cultural conflicts seem to require immediate public action. Social media has made silence seem like complicity, and everyone must weigh in on every popular topic. This radical thought would have resonated with ancient Stoics. You don't owe everyone your opinion on every topic. When you share your political, religious, or other contentious ideas with everyone coworkers, extended family, friends, social media followers, you alienate individuals. Someone will strongly disagree with your well-reasoned, rational, evidence-based, and compassionate position. In today's polarized society, dissent often implies absolute rejection. Emperor Marcus Aurelius had great power and likely had strong opinions about political and philosophical issues of his time. He writes with wonderful control and prudence. Instead of publicly supporting political causes, he prioritized justice, wisdom, courage, and moderation. He knew that airing every perspective would divide people and hurt his leadership. Epictetus advised students, if you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. He understood that not always expressing what you know or believe is wise, especially when it's unhelpful. Hold your beliefs softly. Be consistent with your values. You can vote. Help causes you care about. But resist the exhausting current urge to prove your rightness or publicly express your viewpoint on every trending debate. Stoics remind us that we can only control our actions and judgments, not others. Number 10. Your plans to help others. Help a friend get a job at your company. You want to introduce two persons who could benefit from knowing each other. You're considering a large donation to a needy person. Declaring these objectives is powerful. You want the other to feel hopeful and appreciated. Don't reveal these plans. Don't tell someone your plan until it's done. When you promise to help someone before doing so, you set unrealistic expectations. Situations change abruptly. The employer freezes hiring, so the job you believed you could help them get falls through. Learning new information makes your introduction incorrect. You let someone down who is counting on your help. Author Marcus Aurelius. End the debate over decent men. Be one. Don't waste time promising support. Help them, then tell them. Before anything else, do good. Book a job interview and inform your pal. Once both people are intrigued, introduce yourself. After determining your budget, give the gift. This method prevents unfulfilled promises, maintains dignity, and ensures your support benefits the other person, not yourself. Act first. Second, speak. Help discreetly. Promise less, deliver more. Genuine giving goes this way. The thread connecting these principles is beautifully simple but powerful. Discretion is power. In a culture that promotes oversharing and praises radical transparency, keeping things to yourself is a competitive advantage. It safeguards your energy, connections, dignity, and narrative. Ancient Stoics knew this well. Maintaining your inner citadel, that fortress of self that resists external chaos because you carefully manage what enters and leaves it, was Marcus Aurelius's term. Epictetus preached the dichotomy of control, focusing on what's yours and not worrying about others. This isn't about secrecy or deception. Not everyone gets access to your entire existence. Recognizing that some information is impossible to erase. Respecting privacy is self-respect. You give away power with every personal detail you divulge. You preserve control over your life when you use prudence.